NABN, New Africa Broadcasting Network. September 24th, 2018, people from all walks of life gathered together at the prestigious Harvard University Club of New York, in the heart of Manhattan, New York, New York, to witness the book launch and signing of Africa Rise and Shine, a book by Jim Ovia, the founder and chairman of Zenith Bank plc, and also the chairman of Nigeria's Software Development Initiative, NSDI. The well-controlled event featured A-list celebrities, bankers, business moguls, United Nations officials, executive governors from Nigeria, stock exchange president, professors, inventors, top Nigerian government officials, innovative doctors, media moguls, family and friends, top politicians and dignitaries around the world.
Changing the African narrative. It's been truly long overdue. We needed to start challenging the perception that our friends, our brothers, our colleagues, and those who do business here in this part of the world, in America or European countries, Asia, and there's many of them still look at Africa as a dark continent. Sometimes when you talk about Africa, we say you're from Nigeria. They say, okay, how far is Nigeria to Africa? That's truly so. And they assume that if you are an African, you say you're from, say, Accra, Ghana. They said, okay, you must know someone from Congo, Brazzaville. Truly, Africa has risen, and in fact, Africa is shining. And I can prove it in many ways. The statistics is there, 2016, 2 years ago. More than 50% of African countries or thereabouts. To be precise, 25, 26 African countries 2 years ago held democratically elected government. No military coups, no military rules. 50% at one go, and they were all successfully democratically elected government. So Africa truly is rising. So we can begin to look at Africa, the old perception of continent of corruptions, country of fools.
Jim Ovia, who started his bank with 4 million shareholders' funds during the time of tension between military and civilian regimes, a period of incredible economic instability and decaying infrastructure in Nigeria, has positioned Zenith as one of Africa's largest banks. An internationally recognized institution, today, Zenith Bank is ranked 325 in the world, according to The Banker, Top 1,000 World Banks 2016.
So Baton Rouge Bank and Trust Company, that's the bank that gave me my first opportunity to work with computers, where I was a computer operator. And I was so fascinated, I thought I should learn more about that technology. Yeah. Hence, when we started Zenith Bank, and I remembered my days at Baton Rouge Bank and Trust Company, although as a young boy, and I thought we should really use that kind of technology to grow our bank and do our businesses. And truly that was the direction of things. Today, there is no single Nigerian bank that is lacking behind in terms of technological deployment for banking transactions. None. We are at par with any bank in Europe or in the US, truly at par. So that was it at that point in time. So Nigerian banks have come of age and they've been able to leapfrog. Actually, that's the way we could have done it. So I'm a village boy.
You're a village boy, but I know that the James Hope College, though, is very important to you.
James Hope College, really, the school, just every day, many of my friends, colleagues who know about James Hope College, when they come to my office, they see the photos and all that. I don't even have photos of my family in my office, but I have the one for James Hope College.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Of students that I didn't even know their parents. I have their photos there. And they ask me every day, oh, how is James Hope? How are the students? They don't ask me, how is your family? They ask me about these boys and girls. And I feel very moved with their story, how they are performing. Today, they are the best school in Delta State in terms of academics. They are the best, and they won an award from the state government, Delta State government, very recently, has been the best secondary school in the state.
Because you're setting up in Abo.
Yes, that's my hometown.
Exactly, your hometown.
Yeah, when I say my village,
that, yeah.
I think many Nigerians don't understand what I do, because otherwise they will say Abo is the fourth largest town in Delta State, or the second largest town in Delta State, the third actually. Why should I call it a village? For us, it's the eye of a child. That's the only thing we see around. We never visited Lagos many years ago until we started to grow up, before we started to understand there are bigger cities like that. So there we still call it a village, but truly you can say it's a town.
And the name,
for correctness of geography, it's actually
we're back on that again. And it was your gut that told you that this was something that was important, and that's something you come back to time and time again in your book. Listen to your gut instinct. Is that what made you really seize the technology?
The only place I've ever worked in my life is the banking business. I've been in banking business since when I was 18. I worked for a British bank called Barclays Bank in Nigeria. That was the name, but several years later the name got changed to Union Bank. So now that helped me, even as a clerical officer. At school, I was asked to operate a computer. And they realized I had a banking background as a clerical staff, and I was able to get a job. At the interview, I was the only one who had ever done anything about banking, counted cash in the bank, processed checks, manual counting of checks, processing of checks. And they thought with the computer I could do a better job. And I was excited because for the first I was going to be paid for something that I was always craved to do. I would have done it for free, truly. I was done it for free, but I was paid for it.
But anyway, I use it as an illustration of the fact that you are a very driven man, and you say in your book that your work drives you, and that you derive a great deal of satisfaction and happiness from it. I mean, is that your word of advice to people, that they should be so driven and really just focus single-mindedly on their objectives and realizing that?
It depends on what drives one to succeed, or what drives one to be happy. What gives you satisfaction, what drives you to succeed, you must continue to do that. If you don't enjoy what you are doing, you might as well quit. You have to enjoy. If you don't enjoy, you can't succeed then at all. You might as well quit, because you're going to make a lot of mistakes. You'll be so frustrated. You have to enjoy what you are doing.
Very important.
I'm sure you enjoy your job, Zena.
Yeah, I do. I'm enjoying this. I love being on stage chatting with you, Jim. And Jim, I've known you now for many years, Jim, and I know you to be a very generous and honourable man. I mean, for example, you talked about how your older brother had helped see you through school and so on, and I know you have very strong family values, and you extend that beyond your family and beyond your community to Nigeria and actually even further afield. So in 2004, you set up the Jim Ovia Foundation, and then in 2012, you opened the doors to your college, the James Hope College, whereby a lot of the students there are just given a free education and so on. You've equipped it with state-of-the-art equipment and teaching, facilities and so on. So in terms of your philanthropic work, what drives you there?
Okay, now thank you so much. James Hope College is a college that I love so much, and I didn't have opportunity to attend that type of high standard school. I actually went to a village school. I went to a village school almost all my life, and by virtue of the fact that I was just lucky to do a few programs in Harvard, that's why I could rub shoulders with that my friend who is choosing between Yale and Harvard. So I'm a village boy.
You're a village boy, but I know that the James Hope College, though, is very important to you.
James Hope College, really, the school, just every day, many of my friends, colleagues who know about James Hope College, when they come to my office, they see the photos and all that. I don't even have photos of my family in my office, but I have the one for James Hope College.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Of students that I didn't even know their parents. I have their photos there, and they ask me, oh, hi James Hope, how are the students? They don't ask me, how's your family? They ask me about these boys and girls. And I feel very moved with their story, how they are performing. Today, they are the best school in Delta State in terms of academics. They are the best, and they won an award from the state government, Delta State government, very recently, as being the best secondary school in the state.
My name is John Molo, and I work with Channels Television, a Channels Media Group in Nigeria. There's something about Jim. I've had the privilege of flying with Jim a couple of times in his aircraft. And, you know, each time we took off, Jim always likes to play back a particular video. And it's got to do with the man who made America. And Jim is always saying, look at these guys, you know, all they need are just a few men and women who can change the story of Nigeria, change Nigeria completely. And I'm so happy that he has imbibed the culture of those people. And he is a story that has to be told over and over again.
I represent the tons and tons, the thousands of Nigerian entrepreneurs that have taken a lot of money out of institutions like Zenith. And to say they've done a wonderful job in terms of supporting our businesses. But Jim, I think, has been particularly exceptional in one regard. Every single time in my career where I had a major transaction to do, and I went to him to seek funding, we actually spent probably about 10 or 15 minutes talking about the transaction. His focus really was always on the integrity of the issues around the deal, why we're doing the transaction, what the security structure was, who would be affected by it. And his focus entirely was not necessarily on the commercial returns, but it was always focused on the integrity and character of those behind the transaction.
I would like to get your advice on what other things can we do to make Africa rise.
What is your prescription as now the primary custodian of the Africa Rising and Shining narrative of what we do to make sure that that rise, you know, is spread across, you know, all classes of the African.
Thank you. We'll take it.
You're very welcome. Now, the question, I like this question very well, and it has to do with the fact that could this Africa Rising, could it really permeate around and give opportunity to everyone, not just the very successful one, even those who are not educated, you know, the inclusiveness, you know, inclusive growth. You're making reference to inclusive growth, am I right?
Yeah.
Where everyone should also benefit from it. Definitely, everybody will not necessarily benefit equally anywhere in the world. Life is just not like that. Capitalism is not structured that way for everyone to benefit. Then, if everyone had to benefit equally, not even reasonably equally, then you're talking about socialism. And that's not what we practice in Nigeria. Neither is it in developing economies either. Very developed. America is successful the way it is that not a matter of winner takes all. In those days, if you discover an oil well, you own your oil well at your backyard, you own it. And you can now succeed using that. The story of the men who built America, you have the Rockefellers and so on and so forth. The Carnegie, you have the Carnegie Hall, you have Ford. Entrepreneurship, enterprise, that's what succeeds, that's what grows economy, that's what grows empires. It is not where you have socialism, where everybody have to get a fair distribution of the national cake. No, that really won't succeed. The economy that have tried that, they've since collapsed. And they have now reversed their approach and are now adopting capitalism. China was a different economy many years ago, but now purely capitalism. Look at how fast China is growing. Russia, almost the same thing, until you now have to dismantle socialism, communism. So truly, everybody cannot really benefit equally, but there should be some inclusiveness in what we do to ensure that even the poor are also empowered.
About the book. The road to success is rarely linear and never easy. But with courage, hard work, perseverance, and dedication to duty, Jim Ovia, founder and chairman of Zenith Bank, proves we can achieve the unthinkable. His story is a living testament to his message that success results when we act with courage and dare to try. Africa Rise and Shine is part memoir, part inspiration, business guide, reminding entrepreneurs and investors around the world of this valuable lesson. You must never allow the perceptions of others impact your own vision of what is possible for the future. The book is available on Amazon.com. Please get your copy today. You will be glad you did. NABN TV founder and president, Mr. Moses Adedeji, had the opportunity to receive a signed copy of the book from the author, Jim Ovia. The author, Jim Ovia, who was known as the godfather of banking by Forbes of Africa, attributed his success to God, to his beautiful wife and his entire family, and those who stood by him through thick and thin. New Africa Broadcasting Network, NABN, your community TV station, was at the book launch to cover the event.
How do you know Mr. Ovia?
I've known him for a number of years. He was a founder of the Private Sector Health Alliance in Nigeria, which we helped create. And, along with Aliko Dangote and Ig, who's here. And that was something fundamental on how you get key private sector leaders engaged in improving the health and nutrition situation of Nigeria.
It's a biggie.
It's a huge issue. And I must say, they've really leaned in. The investing, the mentoring, the bringing up young entrepreneurs. It's just a tremendous job. And Jim has been a key member, a key part of that.
Oh, I came here at the invitation of the BBC, Zenith, because we have great respect for him and wanted to support his book launch. I'm quite interested in his story and to learn how he's become such a success. It's amazing.
It's amazing. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have you read his book yet, or are you waiting to hear it?
I'm going to read his book. I think it's phenomenal what he's done in Africa. I think he's a true pioneer, going in uncharted territory and successfully building a reputable brand. I think that speaks his words.
I know. I've heard that all evening, and I'm so proud of him. I'm glad you're here, and I hope you have a wonderful night. And read the book and let us know more about it.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Jim Ovia is a man of the people. He has mentored so many people.
Later, I met Mr. Ovia, and I told him what I do for a living. I run an air ambulance company in Nigeria. And the first thing he said to me is, I hope you have negotiated your contracts well, because if you have long contracts, then you're going to run into cash flow problems. And I immediately remembered that I'd ran into that problem years ago, and one of his managers had solved it for me. And I think that that's one of the most amazing things that Mr. Ovia has managed to do. He has managed to recreate himself, recreate his mindset, recreate his entrepreneurial drive, recreate his financial expertise in so many people. He's managed to replicate himself, and I think that that's one of the most remarkable things you can do as an entrepreneur. It's not about you, it's about the people that come after and the people that you train and the people whose lives you change, and I think he's been able to do that.
The book Africa Rise and Shine is actually Jim Ovia's way of pointing the road to the next generation of Africans to say, you can do it. I did it and you can do it. And here are some of the things that you can do to enable you to achieve even greater successes than he himself has achieved. And essentially to say that, Africa, unlike what the common media portray it to be, has great opportunities for everybody.
Jim is not only an icon, he's closer to home to me, he's a neighbor. We live on the same street, Lagos, Nigeria. And so there's no event which he hosts
That you will not
that I don't attend, and there's no event that my family hosts that Jim doesn't attend. So I felt compelled, because I could not make the event in Lagos, that I flew in specially to attend this event today.
Jim Ovia, a nice man to work with.
Well, I'm Peter Amangbo. I'm the CEO of Zenith Bank. Well, I'm sure you've heard so many things said about him today, but I will say he's someone who is exceedingly very focused, and he knows exactly what he wants. Well, as he follows in his footsteps, I mean, I've been with him for as long as Zenith started, and there's no way I'll say he has not impacted, in my working career, in my life, and as a role model in banking and business generally. So, working in his footsteps, I think that's actually a given, because it's already, part of our DNA, really, and it's shown us the path how to move and how to do things.
Hear what the wife said about him.
What do you think inspired your husband to write a book?
Jim wanted to tell the world his story. And he kept on asking, and we as a family said, I think it's right. You really need to tell your story, because people think it might be easy how you came about to be this person. So I think he needed to tell his story, and I think this was the most eloquent way and the best way he could get it across to people. Yeah.
What does it take to live with a man who is so enamored by loads of people, and how do you share him with the world? Because it looks like you have to share him with the world.
I do, but I think for you to encourage a person, sometimes you have to let him be, and let him move ahead. And I just think he's such an endearing person that everybody will love him. So I can't be selfish and say I'm going to keep my husband. Yes, people need to know the person, people need to know the man. And that is Jim. And since he's just such a free spirit, I think that, you just have to sometimes stand back and let be and just encourage him from behind and say, you can do it, you're awesome, just go ahead, you're doing the best you can.
His children, too.
I'm so impressed by your father, but such a busy man. How does he where does he get the time to write something so personal about his life, and why did he do that, do you think?
So I think, like you said, my dad is extremely busy, and I think a lot of people that know him and know his work know that he's someone that has always found a way to bring about his personal interests, but with every single thing he does, his main purpose has been an impact. So whatever he does, he wants to be able to make an impact to the wider community, to family, and to people around him. So despite the busyness, as long as he's making an impact, then it's fine. I wouldn't necessarily, I'm sure if you even ask him personally himself, he would say there's no such thing as being busy, because to him this is life, and to him this is impactful and this is purpose. So it's not a thing of busyness, it's a thing of he's fulfilling his purpose by impacting people, impacting family, and doing all the things that he's been called to do.
I feel like from when we were really young, it's always been inbred in us, to be honest. We've always been taught to be humble. Humility is one of the greatest assets that you can really have, to be honest, in the working environment. And I believe that naturally it's just ingrained in us, to be honest. And right now, there's really no way that I can go out and not be who I am, which is a humble person. And that's been taught to me through my dad, really, to be honest.
You guys,
the decisions you make in life will determine whether you succeed or fail.
Mr. Jim Ovia, on behalf of our founder and executive producers, Moses Adedeji and Joy Adedeji, and the board of directors, advisory and editorial boards of NABN TV, we wish you well in your new undertaking. Keep writing. People are eager to read more from you. Good job. My name is Brian Comey. Thank you for watching.